Hello. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Welcome. Oh my God. I hurt my own ears. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another Friends Like Us live preview and review. Marina Franklin here, always here for you no matter what. I am still setting up. This is very unprofessional of me, but I'm here for you. Yes. So last night I was at the McCarter Theater in Princeton, New Jersey. I had a great time, and I still make time for yous. Evelyn is not here again. Yes, Evelyn is not here again. Hey, Captain Morgan. I like that name. I used to drink Captain Morgan, by the way, when I waited tables because I hated waiting tables so much. So I used to drink Captain Morgan with ginger ale, and I used to go, "Arr." When I was waiting tables, that's what I would tell the bartender, and he knew to just pour me a whole bunch of Captain Morgan. I go, "Arr." Oh, oh, thanks for my new pics. Thanks for liking my new pics. Yes, my young sister, my baby sister. I can't call her baby anymore though. Um, Ashley, who is on my Instagram page. I'm gonna put a link in here soon. She does she does photographs. She is not cheap. And but as you can see, her quality is very good. It's she deserves every thing she gets right now because I didn't know she had this in her, and she's amazing at photographs. I mean, I needed a headshot, I needed new pictures. Those pictures that I have up or that I've been posting for a long time are about, no lie, I think about 15 to 16 years old, those pictures. So, yeah, it's time to take new pictures. Why not? Right? So there it is. Thank you, Captain Morgan, for being here. Let me see if I could put her Instagram. I'm gonna put that in a second when Juskow joins us because he talks so much that I have time to do other things. That's actually why I have him here. A lot of you didn't realize that, but Juskow talks so much that I don't have to worry about like empty air because he'll never stop talking ever. And he's always got a problem. Today I had a problem at the farmers market. I'm going to get this story out before he gets here, but I'll just say I'll start it with microaggressions, right? So I don't know if I'm like extra sensitive lately, but I can just tell when people are treating me shitty. And I don't think and I just like calling them on it, right? So like if you think I don't see it, I see it, and I'm going to call you on it. So that's basically what happened, and then I'll go into it more with Dave Juskow. Also for the podcast, since because every time I talk about the podcast, he seems less than interested, but it's really important. This is why I do it. The podcast, Friends Like Us. Just so you know, this week we had Janice Adams and Christina Greer. Yes. Yes, Janice Adams and Christina Greer both on the same episode. Oh my God. We're talking about what is critical race theory? Who created it? Who started it? Is it actually being taught in schools? This is Black History Month. Do people know their history? What you should be really upset about is that you're not getting your history. Or here's the point that Janice Adams made: you're getting something that Black people ain't getting. So if you're not getting your education, or you're not like getting the books that are out there, aren't you upset that you're not getting it? Don't you want it? Don't you? So we talked about that. And it's a great episode. So listen to it. We also talk about water. Oh, I look better sometimes my face, like right now, I'm like, I look better with glasses and just like leaning in like this because I can actually see myself. But I don't know if it looks weird. So anyway, so yeah, I was at the McCarter Theater last night. Oh yeah, and check out that episode, Friends Like Us. It's on all platforms. Right here, scrolling beneath me, it says here Linktree. It's so weird how they spell it. linktr.ee/Marina Y Franklin. You can get the episode there. It's right. All the platforms that are available are there for you. So, friends like us, that's why I do this. I've been doing it for well over 7 years now, this podcast, maybe more. And I don't stop every week. I've been doing this every week for the past 7 years. We're not the biggest Joe Rogan podcast, but we do good stuff. And it's a great episode. I bet you guys didn't know this. The industry sometimes pushes out who they want you to listen to. And then they do their own work and they get their own fans. But there's some people who are doing podcasts now that they already have fans and then they'll give them a podcast. This is the opposite. I have fans, or I call them friends, but I didn't have the numbers that they may have had. But I started a podcast, kind of like how Mark Maron started a podcast, which was the original thing. Was someone was telling him his career was over, and then he decided to just start talking to people. And then he had amazing guests, and then everyone was interested in talking. And then Mark Maron got what he deserved as the funny man that he is. And then everyone was like, "What the fuck podcast is the number one? He's the godfather of podcasts." And then it started to change and started to be like celebrities wanted to do podcasts or people who had huge followers, and then things start to shift. So, but always remember this. You want to listen to things that are unfiltered right now, because as you can see what's happening on television, and even with, even now, even though I'm on this platform, maybe they're blocking it from people seeing it. It's amazing. They don't want us to be heard. Mm. All right, let me see here. Are you Kurt Franklin's sister? Boo! I'm gonna boo you for that one. But they don't make Oprah's a must listen. Listen, okay? I'm gonna say it how you probably say, but they don't make Oprah's must listen. Listen, okay? Okay, that's how it is. But they don't make Oprah's must listen list. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Marina Franklin made Oprah Winfrey's best of list. Thank you, Captain Morgan. Thank you. Oh, I should remind you all, as you're joining us today, let me know where you're from or where you're at, where you're as you're I always like to find out where people are from, because every now and then we get people from New Zealand and Ethiopia. Even one time we had someone from, I was like, what's going on? I was like, this is amazing. So let me know where you're from, where you're at. And if you listen to the podcast, if you don't listen to the podcast, go to that link tree below. And if you think it's really good, share it with someone, especially for Black History Month. This recent episode is so good. I have a lot of my, white friends who are listening to the podcast saying that it's so good. They're going to share it with their kids. We have a fan. He's an old friend of mine too, who listens to the podcast, Paul Sullivan, and he's always tweeting us out, and he is sharing it with his son. So thank you, Paul. Shout out to you, Paul, for doing that. All right, let's see if I can read. Oh, Stace. What up, Stace? Hey, hello, lovely people from Cheyenne and UTE lands, now called Arvada, Colorado. Hmm. How was your set? Congrats on the making the list. Oh yeah, that was a while ago. But Captain Morgan was reminding everyone that I made the Oprah list, which I really appreciate. My set last night at the McCarter Theater was amazing. I did not do 50 minutes, but I think now I'm good. I could do that long because I did 20 minutes with no problem. And it was fun. It was a fun crowd. You couldn't see the audience, but it's amazing how I can always tell when there are Black women in the audience. I could just hear their laughs. So that was the weird part, because I'm in Princeton, New Jersey, so I'm not really sure like who's in the audience. I know it was a theater, and I know it was the first time they were doing comedy there, because they want to do that, because the person who's now managing there loves comedy, and I think it's a great idea. So I was on stage. I didn't know. I was like, I called them subscribers. So I didn't know what to expect. And I could hear the sisters in the audience laughing. And let me tell you, thank God for Black women when it comes to laughter, because we let go. Not to say that white women don't, but I'm just saying it is so clearly understood that they're having a good time, and I appreciate you. And it was a fun time. It was a fun show. I was opening up about so much. I was able to relax. I read one of my complaint letters about the farmers market. They got it. I didn't have to like speed through my material because I'm like in a club and I got to get off because the next comic has to get on. There were 4 of us though, that were on that show. There was a young comic, I can't remember her name. Abby was her name, Abby. And then she's done a lot of social media. And then there was another comedian, I'm gonna forget his name. Let me look at the flyer. But which is so rude of me that I'm like, I'm gonna forget his name. But I met him for the first time last night, and he was really funny and very sweet, very kind. And then Baron Vaughn was on that show as well. Baron Vaughn has been on Blackish, and he was also in Awkward Kings with me, and Victor Fernando and Eric Andre and Hannibal Buress, Chris Garcia. So it was Abby, Chris Garcia, me, and Baron Vaughn. We were all on that show together. It was fun. I didn't hang out because that's not what I do anymore because of COVID. What do you guys think about the masks mandate, by the way? I'm curious what you're all thinking. Like, there's so many stories about, like, how you don't have to wear it anymore. How are you feeling? Like, are you ready for that? And, they all are saying it's the science. The science says you don't have to wear it, and I guess the Omicron really helped us reach that herd immunity. But there is still a subvariant out there. I keep hearing little mumbles of a subvariant, and I still wear my mask inside in crowded areas. I get really claustrophobic and I get nervous, and I wear my mask. And I've noticed that some people get the peer pressure to take it off. It's like, well, everyone else isn't wearing it, so I'm just curious what you all are thinking. What are you doing, Stace? Are you still wearing your mask? Are you taking it off? Or it feels like Tamara. How are you doing, darling? What's up? Um, okay, let's stay. We're talking about masks, Tamara. And are you still wearing yours? Someone's knocking on someone's door. By the way, I had a situation this morning real fast where you know how I get into fights with people, right? And you know how the girl next door, she has a dog that was crying all day, which I was like, I love animals, but like the dog is absolutely going through some type of anxiety. And so am I because I can't like focus. So anyway, so this morning, the other girl, she got locked out of her apartment. Can you guys hear me? She got locked out of her apartment. And they were like being friends because they're both dog people and they're both like, she's like, it's going to be okay. I know the neighbors are complaining about the barking, but it's going to be all right. Just do whatever you want, you know? She got locked out of her apartment though. And guess who was there to help? Me. I was there to help. hmm While they thought they were having this little private conversation all up in the hallway. hmm I heard it. I came out. I go, oh, did you get locked out of your apartment? You need some help? So anyway, sorry. All right. Appreciated the head of the AMA saying he'll continue to mask because of unvaccinated young children and immunocompromised people. That's what I'm like. I feel like they're kind of like, fuck it. Like, get it. Get Omicron. Like, I feel like they're kind of like, it seemed to work out that everyone got Omicron. It was the best situation for reaching the herd immunity. That's what it feels like they're saying. Like they're not talking about those children. They're not talking about the immunocompromised that can't get vaccinated. And it's important to add that to the conversation. So Mike, you're still wearing your mask. Yeah, I don't get it. I've been in crowds, Mike. I have been in crowded areas and nobody, maybe like one person in that crowd is wearing a mask. And I always give them a high, like 5 in the air because I don't touch hands. But I still, I bring my own microphone because I have several of these. So when I do a show, I bring my own microphone and share. And last night I did that. I was like, that's the one thing in my contract I have to listen, it's flu season still. So I don't even want to catch a cold. And Joy Behar said that on The View, and I totally got it. I don't really like to quote Joy Behar, but I really agree with her on that. Like, I don't want to get the flu. I don't want to get a cold. So, and the subway is smelly. So it's a wonderful option. Oh, what are you guys all saying? I haven't been, it's when Juskow's not here, he's like late today. I don't know what's going on. Let's see here. I'm only take the mask off for the special one. Oh, I speak of the devil. Spirit still wearing the mask for now. Okay. All right. Good for you. Let's see. Um, Tomorrow, I still wearing my mask. I was in Savannah, Georgia last weekend, and people were still wearing masks in stores. Okay, that's interesting because Savannah, I would not expect it. I've gotten become used to the anonymity anonymity. I can't read anonymity of a mask. Me too. Oh, I agree. I love like coming out in the morning and not people not knowing who I am. Not that people know me, but still, because I did have someone actually recognize me on the subway platform with my mask, and I was like, um, Marina spilling the tea today. Yeah, because, I bet she hears me too. And guess what her name is? Amber. It's Amber, like Amber Alert. That's her name. All right, so yeah, it seems like a month ago they were telling us to get K95, and now they're telling us no masks. I'm confused too. Um, all right, let's bring the man on the hour on. Man in the hour. Dave Juskow,
What's up,
everybody.
douchebags?
Oh God.
What'd I say? That's my favorite way to enter a room.
Oh, well, I was telling them I was gossiping before you got here.
About what, me?
No, my neighbors.
Oh, what's up?
So
Is that better?
there's a new neighbor. Remember the one who's like expecting that we'll throw out the thing for her?
Yeah.
Well, she also has a dog that like cries all day,
Oh
but
my
he's got
God. I'm having that same problem. There's a dog barking nonstop.
it's everywhere because these remember during the pandemic everyone adopted a pet.
Mm. And they've been getting rid of them too. They're awful people. Awful people.
I don't understand the people who get rid of them. That's so rude.
Isn't it horrible?
Yeah, it is so horrible. And so anyway, so the two dog people on our floor whose dogs are making all the noise in the world. But I love animals, so I really don't care. I'm more worried about the animal than I am the person. And to be honest, I also like not having that sound. But this I see you texted. Don't think I don't.
Sorry. Somebody's going to the Tool concert tonight and they wanted to know where to park.
Oh, you're so good for that. I want everyone to know that because of Juskow, Marina Franklin, was able to get to the McCarter Theater last night, Princeton, New Jersey, with no
Right
problem.
about how easy it was, right?
What?
I'm
I am
so glad.
so glad I called you.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing to do. I like to map out stuff like days in advance. I get like really excited about it.
It was ridiculous how easy. The
Well,
only
that's
thing
my home train, that's where I grew up, so I knew it really well. That I've been taking that line my whole life, the Northeast Corridor line.
it was like, and I got the app, which was a great that suggestion, Juskow, just saved me so because where else would you pay for it?
Well, if you went in on the 32nd Street in Penn Station, they have booths to pay for it, but it's the app makes everything so much better.
Yeah, because it's kind of silly to
Yeah, I
just
mean, some people are afraid to download the stupid app. They get nervous about putting their bank account in, all that stuff. So I wasn't sure, the way you are. So I wasn't sure what your story was.
I
I
did it.
wanted to immediately say, download the app, even if you're taking it once. It's just so much easier. But yeah, I'm so glad you did it. I'm
I
so
got it.
glad you did
I
it.
got it right back because
Oh, you
Lois
did?
felt yeah, she felt bad.
She came and I hate
Just
her.
drove me back. Don't you
Nope,
dare.
I'm down on her this week. I
She
don't
felt
like
very
all. I don't like
bad.
any of the stuff she was saying.
Well, let's not trash her. She
I'm
was
telling her I'm
very
on a podcast.
apologetic.
Sorry, so I don't have to do this anymore.
Oh, because she wants more directions.
Yeah, and I didn't want to be rude. I usually shut off my phone, but she knows I know the Prudential Center well, and she knows I know Newark as well as I know Princeton.
Princeton.
I'm the guy you call for Jersey directions.
I'm now realizing when I went to
What's up, D?
go, I told you the dumb thing I did. I called it doing a Rachel.
Oh, what's that? Did you leave your wallet somewhere?
I went to renew my
Thank you, Harleen.
what Harley said. And Santa, we call people like Juskow parking angels. Oh, I love it. That deserves to be posted and stay forever. No, I went to go renew my global entry. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but that is like where you get to go through the airport without taking off your shoes.
Oh, really? That's what it's called, global entry?
Well, there's different kinds. There's clear, there's global entry. You know, when you get TSA pre-check.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's a great thing. See, I don't fly enough for that, but I would totally want to do that.
Yeah, I
I
fly
can't
a
believe
lot
more
too.
people don't do that.
And it's great for global because you go through customs so fast. It doesn't work everywhere. Like in Canada, you have to have the Nexus, I believe they call
That's so
theirs.
fucked up. When you said it doesn't work everywhere, Canada was the first place I thought it would totally work.
No, they
If
have
it doesn't work
Nexus.
in Canada, what's the point?
Global entry though works everywhere. Like I was in Aruba, it works, and it's like
Can't
you
you
go
talk to
through.
Bonnie about that or something?
Mm,
I'm just kidding.
well, you could get both, I think, but I just
No, that's
preferred
just so
global.
ridiculous.
I know, talk to Bonnie, but I was like, I went all the way to Newark. I took a lift.
Wait, you didn't take the train at Penn
I
Station?
didn't know how to do what I did last night. That's what I'm finding out,
Wait,
Juskow.
wait,
How
wait. What?
yes,
Wait, what are you
yes.
saying? Wait a minute. You you took a lift to Newark, and then why would you do why first of all,
Because I
I don't
didn't
know
know
if you've been
how.
to
I
the
get
Newark
freaked
train station,
out.
it's disgusting there. I go to Newark all the time to go to the Devils games. It's a gross train station. When, I just thought every time I walked through there, I had AIDS. It's really repulsive there and gross. They gotta fix that up. Um, why did I don't understand why you
I told
wouldn't.
you it was a dumb thing. So I took a lift there because I just wanted to get there and get back, renew my global entry, and guess what? I got to Newark and left my passport at home, which in order to renew that, you have to have your
What does
passport.
global entry have to do with taking the train? I'm getting very confused.
Okay. I know I'm leaving out details. So you have to go to Newark because with global entry and TSA, it's very popular, right? No one wants to take off their shoes anymore. So
Wait, what are we talking about? What are you talking? Maybe we're talking about two different things. I'm
yes,
talking about taking the train to Princeton. Are you talking about something else?
I'm talking about something dumb I did this week. And because you showed me
Oh, something else.
how to
Okay.
take the train to Princeton, I realized how much more dumb it is what I did. I don't know if
Oh,
that
but you were
sentence
going to
made sense.
Newark Airport.
Okay, listen to this.
Okay.
So then
Sorry.
to go to Newark Airport,
Yeah.
you can take that train.
Oh, yes, but I don't recommend that. You did the right thing by taking the lift to that. I don't recommend taking the train to Newark Airport.
You do not.
No, that's a hassle. Yeah, it's weird. I'm telling you, I've done all of this, and I do not recommend. I recommend exactly what you did. You did everything correct, except for leaving your
However, leaving
passport.
my
Yeah.
passport.
All
Oh,
right,
because
that was dumb.
okay, so then I don't feel as bad because I
Yeah, don't feel
seriously,
bad. No, it's a pain in the ass taking. I'll only leave out of Newark Airport.
but I
That's the
spent
best airport.
$120 down the drain
Well, oh, because you had to go back?
because I had to go because I left my passport at home.
How did you get to your flight on time by going back?
No flight. Okay, now here's the other part of the story. So global entry can only be renewed in certain locations.
Oh, you were
And
going to renew it. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. If you had to renew it in Newark Airport.
yes, because
Okay,
they
well,
have
then you should have taken the train. I'm saying
well,
if you're going to catch a plane,
no,
the train doesn't work. If
no.
you're just doing that, then yes, okay. Sorry,
Because
everybody. I didn't
yeah.
mean to. I'm a stickler for details. I need to know stuff.
No, it's really good because I left out important and here's the thing, the global entry thing, right? I booked it in advance 6 months ago because they
Oh,
are
you're
booked
like
up.
meeting. Oh God.
So they like test you like you have to do fingerprinting.
Yeah.
Okay? It's like
Yeah.
global
Good.
entry because they want to make sure you're not a threat.
Yeah.
You're not like on a do not, whatever list for flights. So they have to do a really good background check. But what happened is because of the pandemic, all these things, including passports, driver's license, everyone's not looking at the expiration date and they're looking up and they go, "Oh my God, it's expired." So I left my passport at home and the 6 months just down the drain and 120 whatever dollars.
Oh, you couldn't get a new um meeting. You couldn't make it back. So
I
you didn't
had to
make it back. You went home. That
I
was
went
it.
home and then I looked at my passport and guess what?
It's expired. That's so
And
funny.
it expires in 2 weeks.
I actually was smart during the pandemic and got it renewed during the pandemic. Can you believe it? And I never travel anywhere, but I do know that if you do let your passport expire on those days or whenever you want to travel, it'll be a big hassle if you let it expire. So it's funny that I was on I never go anywhere, especially during the pandemic, and yet I remembered it expired in 2020.
It's like, my uncle sent me an email in December and he says, "Have you looked at your passport today? Do you know
Yeah.
how many people are not looking at their when the expert because we not so much time went by, we weren't really thinking about it. Like
I
my
was for some
license
reason. I don't know
expires
why.
and I had to take my passport picture. Tony Woods was with me and it was really
You're
funny because
kidding.
it's a coincidence. He was in my neighborhood, but he walked
Oh,
with
I
me to
was
go
gonna
get my
say.
passport picture and the guy goes, "Too much teeth."
Yeah, no, that's a thing.
And
You
then
can't.
Tony
They
said
don't want
something
you to smile.
really funny.
What do you say?
The guy just started laughing. I could only imagine. I didn't hear it, but the guy was like, "Oh." So I was like, "Tony." But apparently you're not supposed to smile
Wait,
too
you're not going to
much.
tell us what Tony said?
I don't know. It was dirty. I know it
Oh,
was dirty. I just saw the guy laugh, but because the
yeah,
guy
you're
has
not supposed to smile. I actually got one of the best
really?
passport pictures I've ever had. I have it in my kitchen.
I have a beautiful smiling passport. And
I
this guy
just
was like, "Too much teeth."
I hit the perfect amount. It was like this. No, but I think I hit it perfect. I was just like this. Like, so I don't know where I got the perfect amount of teeth. I knew they didn't want you to totally smile. They do
Why
that in
not
driver's license
smiling?
now too. I don't know.
And you can't
My
do
my first
profile.
driver's license, I was full smiles. I was so happy
Oh,
that
let me
day.
show can I show my driver's license or is that bad?
I don't know.
Let me see if I could cover a
You are
part
kind
of
of
it.
foolish when it comes to this. So, well, won't it have your address on it?
I'll make sure it's covered. But basically I could just say I can describe it though. I'm in profile.
What are you
Like
under 21?
so look, okay, let me see. I could cover it. Look.
What the?
See, you're not allowed to
It's
do
in
that.
black and white?
You're not allowed to do what I did in this photo. You see how
Yeah.
I am?
Yeah.
Because I told the girl and she worked with me. She said, "Girl, let's get a good picture here because I gotta live with this." She's like, "Okay."
When
And
did
I
you
went like this.
your
And she
hair's
was
like
like, "It's fuller. It's just fuller that day."
yeah,
Yeah. And so you're not supposed to
looks
do
great.
this. This is not allowed. Apparently, this is like I get stopped all the time. They go, "Who let you do that?"
Really? Why do you get stopped all the time? Because
When
you're
I'm go
black?
No, dummy. When I'm going through the airport, they go,
Oh god, you keep Oh, I
"Landmines."
see. You get stopped all the time where they say you're not supposed okay, gotcha.
That's so funny what you thought. Like they're like, "Let's see your ID." Ooh, this
I was
is
like,
pretty
I
good.
never get stopped. Well, I am white, so yeah, I
Yeah.
don't get
No,
stopped.
no,
I
no.
mean, that
When
is
I'm
a thing.
No,
You
I
know it
get
is.
stopped and I don't get stopped. I said that wrong. When I'm going through security and they
Okay.
ever have to they go, "How and who let you do this? You know that you can't do." And I'm like, "I
That's so funny.
know." And this is the last year for it. I have to
Oh, for your
retire.
license, now you gotta take a new one. Me too. Mine expires in June, and, I use a New Jersey address, and my mother just moved, and now I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I like having a New Jersey driver's license because I usually drive in New Jersey, and I don't wanna get a New York one. It's funny, if somebody, uh, stops me, which is the correct word in this case, there's no indication that I've ever lived in New York. I have to carry, like, a cable bill with me. They don't believe me. There's just no I don't have any New York ID. It's weird. I've never needed one, really.
What
I
are you
like the
talking about?
I don't have any indication that says I live in New York except for jury duty.
Oh.
I just have a New Jersey driver's license because I don't care to change it.
I am special. Thank
You
you
are
very
special,
much.
and if by
It's been a
special you
while
mean
since we've
retarded,
seen
then
you.
yes.
It's
Yeah,
been a
where the hell
while.
has DJ Eric Prince been? Has it
He's
been
being mean to
spinning
you
on
too.
Saturday night?
Juskow doesn't exist. Oh, oh, I see. Yeah, where you been, DJ? Last night a DJ saved my life
I
with a
love that song.
song. There's not a problem that I can't fix because I could do it in the mix, in the
Nice.
mix, in the mix.
Who is that? Who sings that?
Well, let's get the DJ to tell us who
Last
sings
night a
that
DJ saved my life.
with
That's
the
not Madonna,
song.
right? I think we went over this.
No, never. It was like like a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. But I remember it was really popular, and I really liked it, and it's a great message, ironically, right?
Yeah.
Because we've all been there where a DJ can actually save your life one night when you're down a certain song or somebody's spinning the right discs. Yeah. So it's a great song. Great song.
I love that Pac-Man is playing in the background. I'm just noticing this.
Yeah.
It's not usually playing.
Well, it plays. You just don't notice it. It goes back and forth.
I've never seen it on.
It's always on. Remember when those girls were here? They were playing it and stuff.
I don't want to think about those girls.
Sorry. Those white girls.
Oh, In Deep. So that's who it is.
Oh, that's the name of the group, or is it a person?
I guess that's the name of the group, right? DJ Eric Prince.
Yeah.
Is that the name? Last night a DJ saved my life. I'm having a hot flash. Last night a DJ saved my life with a broken heart.
You know the rest?
DJ saved my life. I mean, sometimes I say it wrong.
I only know that one line.
I always say the words wrong.
DJ Eric Prince, is there like a person in that group that ever went anywhere else or wrote that song that we would know? You know, like a what's the one that Justin Timberlake was in? 98 Degrees? Was he what was the group he was in?
Oh, I don't
Shalimar.
know. Juskow crooned some Shalimar.
I don't know I only know Shalimar as a store in Ithaca, New York. A place called Shalimar. I know there was a band called Shalimar. I don't know what they sing.
It was a studio group.
What was I thinking of? Oh, right. He was in NSYNC, but there was a band called 98 Degrees, but Justin Timberlake was in NSYNC, right? So when you see those boys come out of those bands, I thought maybe there was one guy in Deep that came out of there.
I got a question for you. How was your show last night? Everybody Juskow performed last night.
Oh, well, it was good. I mean, it was just at this bar, but I was glad to get out of the house and do something. And it always goes pretty well. And this girl likes me, which is good. And I talked to Rachel yesterday, and I think I'm opening for her at Bananas by the Meadowlands this weekend coming up, Friday and Saturday.
Nice.
She's letting me know. She goes, yeah, I don't have a feature, so if you want to do it, unless they thought of somebody, but I can probably go on anyway. So I think I was going to go see her anyway, just because she's, close. I would do the same for you. If you were playing at Bananas in Jersey, I would totally go see you perform. I like to see a lot of my friends perform for full sets sometimes if they're nearby. So that club at Bananas is a good place to locally see your friends do full sets.
That's nice. Yeah.
So Rachel, I've seen do before, but like there's a couple of people like yourself, I don't see do it that very often.
Right. I have one at the end of this month if you want to do the show.
Where?
At the Cellar.
What do you mean? Like you're doing a full I'm
doing a full hour. I haven't promoted it yet, but
I would love to. You mean
so everyone on here, you're like finding this out early.
If you're talking about the end of February, that's tomorrow. So I don't think I can make it.
I mean March.
Yeah. No, I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to. I'd be honored.
March 30th.
As long as Evelyn's not doing it. I cannot.
Don't you get mad at Evelyn.
I cannot work with her.
Why?
No, I'm kidding. I love her.
She has to get her. She's not here today because she had to go to the dentist and she forgot. And I don't.
Yeah, but Marina, that's really bad because she's your assistant, and if she can't remember her own appointments, how does this reflect on you? This is the kind of stuff I think about on a daily basis.
I know you do. I know,
it bothers me to forget when somebody's job it is I mean, at least she remembers your stuff. This is why I'm so mad at
I'm
Lois,
not paying her
Marina.
top dollars, man. You know, you gotta
I
you get
know.
what
You
you
have to take
get.
that into consideration. But this is
I
why I'm
she
mad
pay,
at Lois.
I pay her what I can, and I give her spots, and she's very respectful, and
This kind
you
of stuff
know.
makes me upset, Marina. She's a young kid. You let that go. Lois has no excuse.
Well,
And
Lois did
again,
have
the
a
excuse,
funeral.
yes, but come on, Marina. We've already spoken about that. She cannot use death as an excuse anymore. She's the one person on the planet who you cannot use death anymore. Like, oh,
At
there's
first,
a
I
death,
thought it
and I'm
was
like,
just
stop
me. I
right
was like,
there.
at first, I thought, is it just me, or does she always talk about someone dying? And then it's like it's like I send you the text, and I'm like, look, it's
She
real.
should know better at this point that death is not an option as an excuse anymore. She's going to need Lois can use the excuse saying, "Oh, I forgot it's my laundry day." That's something we can accept from Lois at this point. But the tragedy, no more.
You
You've
guys,
used up your quota of
w-
tragedy.
we have to explain to people who may not know,
I
but
thought
like,
everybody knew here
and
because we talk about her.
I feel like they do. But if someone's watching this for the first time, they may not know that I have
Okay.
a friend. She's from Ireland, and she's an end of care person, so she can't help it. Really, she loves what she does. I mean,
And she has people die all the time. End
she
of
has
care.
people
That's
die
her
all the
job.
time, but
It's in the title.
every time there's someone there's it's just she drops in death so
She's
often.
Irish. That's all they do is go to
I
funerals
don't know
and
if that's an
drink.
Irish thing.
I think it is. The Irish just always are mourning the dead all the time. I don't know what it
So
is.
she'll just
That's
drop
how
it
they
in,
started
like,
with bagpipes.
really morbid
I'm just
stuff.
not
She'll be like, she goes, Marina, I would come to you to the thing on Friday, but I tried to get off because my assistant, her brother committed suicide, so I should be able to get there. And she just still rolls right past that. And I'm like, wait, whoa, what?
It's so funny.
Here's the funny thing she said to me recently.
I can't believe she went to get you
She goes,
yesterday.
"Do you watch the news?" I go, "Yeah, I have to." She goes, "It's so depressing." I go, yeah, "I want to go. You know what's depressing? You know what's depressing? These death stories you always tell me about.
Yeah.
That's depressing."
Yeah, I'd rather watch Russia invade Ukraine than listen to Lois's death stories. It's weird
So Stace
because
is saying, "Yeah, didn't know Lois does end of life work. Explains a lot."
oh, it
Yes.
absolutely does, and that's why we
Hmm.
love her to
We
death.
love her.
But
We do
I
love
was
her.
just, I don't like when Marina, I'll take you there. Don't worry, and then somebody cancels like that or forgets. It just, I don't know. We're too old for to. We're not
Look what
Evelyn's age
look
to
what
let
Mike
that be
said.
the excuse.
It's good that she feels so connected to
That's
everyone.
true. That's what makes her really good at her job. You're
Hmm.
absolutely right. And yeah, nobody recovers from hospice. Hospice is the end. And Lois is a wonderful person and we love her. It's just you were relying on her yesterday and it wasn't like I need to do this because somebody's dying. It was like I forgot about you. And that's
She didn't forget
unfortunately
about me. She just wrote the
she forgot
wrong
the
date.
date. Well,
She wrote it
that's
down
what I'm
wrong.
saying. Yeah,
And
well,
it could easily been like also like may have sometimes when I'm going through my calendar, I'll just say
you
a
did that to
day.
me once.
I could have accidentally said the wrong day to her and she put it in.
You did that to me once.
See, it
Remember?
could have
We
been
didn't
me.
talk for a while
Could have been me.
because that kind of stuff drives me insane.
Since you've been gone.
But I can't believe she came to go get you because she felt that bad. I
She
guess
felt
that's okay.
bad. Yeah, she's a loving person. And she brought me Irish oats.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What is that? That's the gift? Bring you the scone again, Irish oats. Come
No, no,
on.
no, no, no. Let me tell you something. She gave me a bag. She flung it at me. She goes, Marina, here, take this Irish oats. It's from the fields of Ireland. And I was like, ugh,
Yeah.
right? Let me tell you something. And I almost put it down in the lobby and threw it away because I was like, I don't need this big bag of oats.
Yeah.
I cooked it.
Yeah.
It's the most delicious thing I've ever had in my life.
Really? Well, that
I
Irish scone was the most delicious thing I've ever had.
I never enjoyed oatmeal like this before
Really?
ever in. I'm
Did
not
you
an
put
oat.
anything on it?
You actually don't have to, but I did.
Really?
I put like a little cinnamon and almond milk. You don't, and sometimes honey, but I don't
I like
know how
brown
to.
sugar.
I'm trying to describe it, but it's like it's got the right consistency, and it's healthy. It's like grain. It's not like carby. It's not 2 car, and it fills you up, and it's from the fields of Ireland. I was like,
Like
"She's
your grits,
right."
al dente or regular?
It's not al dente.
That's from my cousin Vinny.
So, but it was
A
so
no
good.
respecting Southerner would make grits instant.
Look at a raisin, perhaps? No.
A Raisin in the Sun.
Written by Lorraine Hansberry.
Wait, that was written by a
Will
woman?
you dry up
A
like
Raisin
a
in the Sun was
raisin?
written by a woman back
Yes,
then?
from Chicago.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a very yeah, look her up, Lorraine Hansberry.
That's amazing. I really didn't know that. That's back then. Why have we never heard of her before?
You haven't heard of her.
Well,
Don't
no, but
don't
I'm
put me
saying
in
I
your
don't think
wee
people talk
category.
about the play, but they don't talk about that author. Did she ever write anything
You
else?
should be angry. This is what Black History Month is all about.
Thank God it's coming to an end. No, but seriously,
I
did she
always like
write
to bring up Jesse
Jesse
Smollett.
the Disney show? Oh, Jesse Jackson?
No, Jesse Smollett.
Oh, no, that's Jussie.
I like to say Jesse.
I love when you talk about him.
I was like, it's the first time we actually wish the hate crime did happen.
No, DJ Eric Prince. I do not know anything about Black people. I know. But that's why I'm asking these questions. This woman who wrote this groundbreaking play, did she ever write anything else? Do you know?
You know, I believe so, but she's well known.
I'm
Most
being
people
sexist
do
and
know.
racist at the same time.
This is something you just are ignorant on. It's all
Well,
right.
I know about that play and how groundbreaking it was, and it's an old play, and I just they didn't have a lot of women playwrights back in that day.
So
For a Black woman, that's
Lorraine
unbelievable. Was
Hansberry
that from
was
the
a
60s?
playwright. So here's her. Lorraine Vivian Hansberry, May 19th, 1930. She passed in 1965. She was a playwright and writer.
She
She was
passed in 1965?
She was
When
the
was that
first
play written?
She was the first African female author to have a play performed on Broadway.
Yes.
Her best known work, the play.
Well, you're saying she was the first Black American author, man or woman.
Yes, this is it.
That's unbelievable, right?
It says female author to have a play.
Oh,
performed.
female author. Okay, so not
a
well,
raisin.
that's even more amazing.
And she's
You're
from
saying,
Chicago. She's from my hometown.
But you're saying she was the first female to have a play on Broadway. It had nothing, whether it's Black or wow. I can't believe I didn't know this. Go on. When was that play written? In the 50s or 60s?
Well, had to be like around when segregation was happening, so somewhere probably in the 60s, I'm thinking.
And then she died like before it went on, like pulled like a Michael Bennett, like a chorus line shit.
Let's see here.
Or Rent. No, that's the guy. Rent. What's that guy's name who died just before it?
Written and completed in 1957, A Raisin in the Sun opened at the Ethel Barrymore Theater on March 11th, 1959, becoming the
thank
first.
God. So she got to see her dream. Then that's good.
Becoming the first play by an African American woman to be produced on Broadway.
Wait, now you're saying an African American woman. That's why I'm trying to get it straight because I want to know more details. I'm sorry. I'm really curious.
No, it's good that you're curious.
So now you're saying an African American woman. For now, you've changed it multiple times. I'm trying to get the right
I'm just
details.
reading. I'm just reading.
No, I know. I just want to know if it was the first woman or the first African American woman. And
by an African American, the 29-year-old author became the youngest American playwright and the fifth woman to receive the New York Drama Critics Circle Award for Best Play. She was also nominated for the Tony Award for Best Play among the 4 Tony Awards that the play was nominated for in 1960. Over the next 2 years, Raisin was translated into 35 languages and was being performed all over the world.
It's been revived so many times.
Well, let me find out they performed this in Asia.
Well, I think they have. It's a very prolific piece. I just didn't know a woman wrote it. As naive as that sounds, I think that's completely interesting.
She also wrote The Drinking Gourd.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Did she write anything else we ever heard of?
And she was a Delta Sigma Theta.
It's fascinating. Who's the one that wrote To Kill a Mockingbird? And then she, wrote a sequel 40, 50 years later. It's funny when you can write something unbelievable and then you can't do it again.
So what happened to her was she passed from pancreatic cancer in 1963.
That's the worst. That happened so quickly.
Yeah,
I've never heard women passing from pancreatic cancer much.
With many of other writers, she published her lifetime essays, articles, and the text for the SNCC book, The Movement, Documentary of a Struggle for Equality. The only other play given a contemporary production was The Sign in Sidney Brustein's Window, and it ran for 101 performances on Broadway.
With the second one, I never heard of it. What's it called again?
The Sign in Sidney Brustein's Window.
Never heard
Sydney.
of it.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's something else. That's really interesting on Black History Month in the last 2 days. That is fascinating.
And it's
Wow.
the play A Sign in Sidney Brustein's Window is her second play. The play is a story about a man named Sidney, his pitfalls within his personal life, and struggles in bohemian culture.
Well, you know what happens is you make a play like Raisin in the Sun, you'll kind of automatically get a second one, and then I guess it didn't do very well.
Oh, Tequila Mockingbird. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Well, what about Donnell Walton had a funny one.
What? What's that? I missed it. I got to put my glasses
If I had
on.
a magic wand, I'd turn Juskow's Pac-Man into a Google kiosk.
Oh, shit.
Marcy was saying that she used to teach Raisin in the Sun to her class.
Oh, yeah. My uncle swears by it. There's like on PBS. My uncle is a big PBS guy, and he loves to, during the 2 years of this pandemic, my uncle's a doctor with internal medicine. And I think he's, it's been tough because he was supposed to, I think, retire, but he's still working. And he oftentimes will tell me what's on PBS. They do hero stories, and not just during Black History Month. And Lorraine Hansberry is one that you should watch. It's a
Oh,
pretty good one.
I
It's
would
about
like that very much, actually. I am
Mhm,
always interested in that. I mean, again, here we are talking about not just a black, but a black woman who
mhm,
wrote an unbelievable play in what you're saying, 59, was it 60?
mhm.
That's unbelievable. I would very much like to hear about that.
Well, this is what we were talking about on the podcast. Thank you, Juskow. This week was that it's when you don't get history, no matter if it's Asian history or if it's Black history or any kind of history, you should be upset about that because that's what history is for. That's what the title of a history class should do. You should know about these people. You should be upset that
Yeah,
you don't
and
know about
when they
her.
teach Raisin in the Sun in school, as maybe they did, Marcy said it did. I don't think they did it in our school, but I know about the play and and how important it was to theater, let alone black history and stuff like that. But it's kind of funny that we weren't taught about the person that wrote it because it actually seems more interesting than the play itself
Yeah.
because it's real. Not that
Yeah.
she wasn't writing about real things. It's just really
Especially in the
interesting.
South, so my uncle's around that, he was a kid around that time, so, like, for him, she's from the South Side of Chicago, so he's
Yeah.
like, he really there's an email that he sent me about how kids it's sad that they don't know about just how important she was, or, and still is.
Now that I think about it, when I was a history major at school, and my thesis paper was about black slaves being welcomed into Canada and Canada giving them land. And they were so, as far as I read, they were very the complete opposite of the way it was here.
I
If
just
they
think
if they could get to Canada.
I see. Oh, if they could get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
No
when
one
I
ever
was,
spoke about that.
with the Imagine Society, which Jeannie Gaffigan does like this month, all the kids are doing like collages for Black History Month. I told her what the kids should do. Go and do your homework. Go to the library and seek out someone that you may not have heard about and write about them. I mean, that was the project that I was given in college, and it changed my life because I felt like I was in a mystery or like an FBI story because I was like, am I supposed to be reading these documents? Because I never got them in school. So I learned about two people, Susie King Taylor, Elizabeth Keckley, two women that are absolutely Black women that are incredible during the Civil War. Okay. And never got to talk that in college. And as I started to discover all this, I started to learn more about that time. And it starts to paint a picture, and you go, oh, this is why this is like this.
Mm.
So they did not allow us to read. Why was I just learning that in college? You could blame my
Well,
parents, you could blame whatever,
well,
but
that's what college is for. It expands your mind. You realize that freshman
however
year.
however, college didn't teach it either. I had to go find that out on my own by looking through characters in a way that painted the picture of exactly how slaves were forbidden to read, and if they were severely punished. So it was like your life was like if you read a book, your life could be over.
Yeah.
So when we talk about equity in today, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the years and not so long ago where things were actually made illegal. Living, we talk about Central Park and who lived in Central Park. It was Black people who lived in Central Park, and quite well. Seneca, and we talked about they have a whole gallery set up at the Met where you can see how Black people are living quite well and then asked to leave. So it's you gotta look
Well,
at
what
your
do you mean they were
past.
living in Central Park? You
Well,
mean where Central Park was built,
it
or
was
living
Black.
in the park?
So it's well, you're right. You're asking all the right questions,
Well,
but
that guy who built Central Park, the guy what's his name? There's a
I'm gonna have
causeway,
to pull
Robert
this up too.
Moses. He was ruthless, and if he saw Black people living, he was like, "Nope, I'm getting them all out." He was ruthless. He built the
Yes,
city in a ruthless way.
it was to get Black
That's a
people out.
fascinating guy, Robert Moses.
So this is the story. It's called
He put all the highways
Seneca
together and stuff.
Village.
And when
Yeah,
you
so
hear
Seneca
about how
Village.
Central Park was put together, you're absolutely right. They were all kicked out. It
Yeah,
was
a
a
community
nasty.
of so from
I don't think the
uh
park was there. I think it was man-made.
before Central Park was created. The
It was
landscape
a Black
along what
neighborhood,
is
yeah.
now the park's premier from West 82nd to 89th Street was the site of Seneca Village, a
Yeah,
community
Seneca, yeah.
of predominantly African Americans,
Yeah,
many
Robert
of
Moses didn't give a shit. He
and
just
they
threw everybody out. He
owned
couldn't
their
care less.
own property. By 1855, the village consisted of approximately 225 residents, made of roughly two-thirds African Americans, one-third Irish, and a small number of individuals of German descent. And so, yeah, you can read up on this, but it's,
You can read up on this guy Robert Moses too and see how absolutely ruthless he was.
how a monster. So when we talk about you know, um, like Juskow, you've always said this. You're like, why is it bad like that past 110th Street? They don't get this. This is what we talk about. So if you look at the history of how people behaved,
Yeah.
then you can go, oh, maybe if we had just done this, and now we see what's happening in Russia.
When you showed me some of your houses in that neighborhood, some of those amazing houses, did you say they were owned by Black people, or did I
No,
misunderstand?
on Strivers Row.
Yeah.
So that was initially owned by that was a white man coming into a Black neighborhood, making one block for white people only, and it
Okay.
took him. Remember how many? It was a lot of years before he gave, or his family generationally gave up on that property and let Black people live there. I mean, it
Okay.
took them because there was white flight that happened, and they
Right.
still didn't want to sell it to Black folks, even
Wow.
for I think it was 20 years. They still
Okay,
were
so it
like,
was all bad, even though those
no.
houses are amazing. That little strip was amazing. You showed it to me.
And then they start to sell it to Black celebrities like Step and Fetch It, and I know that
Oh,
name
he was
sounds
good.
funny.
It does. DJ Eric Prince, Moses built the highways that divided the hoods. Yeah, he's absolutely right. Yeah,
So
he was
there's
trouble.
evil people everywhere in history, and then if we
Or are you
study things,
saying Moses built the highways that divided hoods? Are you making a reference to Moses from the Bible? Or is that the gag? Or because it's kind of funny either way. Or well
yeah,
done.
he says yes. Moses was something else.
My
Uh, I
God.
think this would be a really good time for you to read some of our reviews.
All
That
right.
Evelyn was so nice. I hope you didn't yell at her.
Oh, I did.
What'd you say?
I said, you're really messing up, Evelyn. You're
I'm
really
glad she's
blowing.
got.
I said, you're really blowing it. I'm putting on my glasses for this. I don't want to miss
Mhm.
anything. All right. Well, Arlene D., which isn't even a fair review. We know how she feels about it, but she wrote something very eloquent and said, another great and relevant topic. What was this one on? This past
Black
episode?
History Month. Black
Oh,
History Month. And
well,
CRT. What is CRT?
what is CRT?
That's what we talk about on the episode.
Oh, Dr. Christina Greer did a wonderful job of summarizing important points in Black history and notable contributions of people like Marion Barry. Marion Barry, wasn't he that mayor that did drugs?
Yes.
Oh. I will never view Black American History Month the same. Thank you for choosing such relevant and knowledgeable guests on your show. Oh, you're welcome.
No, no.
Fan for life. Hey, Evelyn. Whatever. Sully Baseball Podcast wrote, fantastic episode. I am going to have my sons listen to it.
That's Paul. I mentioned that at the top of the show. Yes.
Oh, and then there's one that just says, your show stinks. Oh, Dave Juskow. Oh, hold on a second. That's right. No, Noble Vessel writes, great podcasts and convo as always. Been listening since 2016.
Yeah. See,
Those
there
are
it
this
is.
week's
Oh, it's been a while.
wonderful reviews, which I never get for my show.
You don't? You don't get reviews?
Oh, I get reviews. I don't get them like that. Your show stinks. Stop singing.
But it is true. Like, no one knows what CRT is, but they want it. But Republicans use it. They weaponize it to scare white people. So here's the reality,
I
right?
know, Marcy. I'm thank
Is
you.
I think
Marcy's
right.
one of the people that. Sorry, she's sticking up for me. Thank you, Marcy.
What she's saying, you stink.
No, she's saying I do get nice reviews. She gives it to me. It's mostly
Marcy.
Marcy.
I'm gonna have to block Marcy. She gives you too many compliments for
I
this
love
stuff.
her. She's the best.
No, Marcy, stop it.
She's a school teacher. She's an educator.
So Marcy, so if you're an educator, I would be curious. Do you believe that what they're teaching in the school is CRT? And do you know what CRT is? I'm sure you do. Just
That's
curious.
a good question. I'd be curious too. What I have no idea what it is. I was hoping you were going to explain it.
Yeah, they whitewash history. Yes. I don't want to explain it because it's actually in the episode, and I don't want to give away the episode. I want you to listen to the podcast.
Listen to it, and I only like listening when you and me are doing Saturday Night Fever imitations. Stephanie, how come? Why can't I walk you home?
Look, because when I got to New York, I was like, I knew how to type. Do you know how to type?
I don't know.
And this boss, he teach me how to do things.
No, I mean, like, what does he mean to you? Who's this guy?
He means a lot. I mean, do you know? I don't know what else she said.
I love when you do. I don't know.
Hey, touch me, stop.
She says CRT is taught in college law class. But what the hell is CRT?
So that's what you have to listen to the episode. But CRT was created by someone. I forgot his name. It's in the episode.
Dave Juskow.
And it is in law school, and it's a section to talk about how like what redlining does to an economy, what it does to individuals.
Redlining is what I used to do for work. That's comparing.
Right. So we're talking about like equity, disfranchisement,
critical race theory,
and it is taught as a section. It is a preference that you pick as a student to be taught. It is not taught in the schools. Black history is not critical race theory. Black history is American history. I feel like I just killed that shit. Yeah, son.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking, I'm going back into what I learned in high school, and it's like I feel like we learned about Black history, but now you're saying we didn't learn it correctly?
None of us did. None of us.
I mean,
you can't just get Huckleberry Finn and go, hey, have a great life.
Well, we definitely, it wasn't like growing up where Marcy did or where she lives now in Kentucky. I mean, we were in New Jersey. We learned about Martin Luther King and slavery.
Yeah,
and,
you can't just Martin Luther
badness. King. At least they said it was bad. It wasn't like they were like, I tell you, these colored people, they got to go back the way they came from. It wasn't like learning in Bay Ridge, like in Saturday Night Fever.
I agree with you too, Captain Morgan. If we were taught, I wouldn't see anything wrong with it. Me too, because Black kids get taught that they're slaves at a very young age, and it's like, come on. It's like, what about those kids? Like what Stace was saying that was said on our show.
No, I didn't learn. Donnell, I guess I didn't learn about Lorraine Hansberry. Maybe I thought it was a boy, because it's more like, wait, there are female playwrights. That's what happened to me.
This is one that everyone was like when they watched HBO and they saw the Tulsa massacre, everyone was like, "Wait, that happened?"
Yeah, on Watchmen, I
Mhm.
had no idea that was real. I looked it up as soon as it was happening. I'm like, oh, that's a gag they're doing for
And how do
Marvel
you feel
or
when you
DC.
learn that that's something that you didn't know? Don't you feel like cheated out of?
A little bit, yeah. I was very curious of why I was never taught something like that. Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I get mad when I don't know when I go to other countries and they look at Americans as a whole as uneducated about the
Oh,
world.
isn't that the worst? Yeah.
And
Let
they
alone
know
that
that
they
our
know
schools don't.
multiple languages. It just makes us look like dicks. You're right.
Mhm. That you go to other countries, they're like, "Yeah, Americans, this is what you do. You don't know shit." And I think a lot of that is on purpose. It really is.
Well, maybe it's
It's like a
changing
it's like a type of propaganda. It's like what they're doing in China when they prevent or in Russia. Like they're preventing people from knowing what Putin. Why is his name Putin, man?
because it's
Why
hilarious.
we got to go down in history with this evil monster and have to say that name?
Yeah, it's like saying Hitler
Ugh.
thing. Who knew that word until it happened?
Does that affect you watching the news about Russia at all? Do you feel like connected to it?
In what sense?
Like, does it make you sad to see that, or you're like,
No, it
oh, there.
actually kind of makes me happy. It makes me what do you call it? Hopeful, because everyone is on. This is kind of like the Nazis. Everyone's on board, even like the China and those places, that this guy is doing the wrong thing. And I hate the fact that he's actually going in and killing people. I can't believe there's been bloodshed like this, that they're just random, killing people. So this is really bad. But the fact that the whole rest of the world is all in on that these guys are bad makes me really happy.
That's
And
the
I
way
think
to
it's a
look
good
at it.
time for this after the coronavirus, that something like this is happening and everyone's on board that this guy's crazy.
Someone said China abstained. I think they're
They abstain,
partially
but that's
in.
that's as good as you can get. An abstention is as good as from China as you're. It's almost like saying we don't want to get involved either. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I kind of I don't want to see anybody else get killed. I don't want to see they're killing people like in their homes. I mean, this is it's like with the Nazis. You know they think they're great. They have machine guns and they're just slaughtering innocent people who aren't armed. This is like really really bad.
It's really
But
bad.
I
Yeah.
love the fact that the entire planet, the rest of the planet, is in on this guy being wrong. So that's good.
You hear the dog?
I don't, but I like what Lisa's saying. Putin's been planning this for 20 years. Ukraine might. I kind of almost agree. He's so got it strategically. It's funny when you're thinking about the strategy. It's like the movies you see where one of the generals has got the chess pieces on the board and he's like planning it. It's like it was clearly planned that way. It's terrifying. And yeah, it's weird. Putin's gonna. Well, the weird part is, I wonder if this would have happened. And I'm glad he's gone, but I wonder if this would have happened if Trump was in office. I wonder if they were waiting.
Mm, yeah. You don't hear that? You don't hear
I
that
do
dog?
not. Yeah, but you have a microphone like I do where you don't hear outside stuff.
Oh, it's bothering me. This dog.
Well, yeah, I hear a dog nonstop outside my window, and I just have to tell myself no one else can hear it. I got to put it in my
I
head.
think she's doing it on purpose right now.
Well,
That's the
that dog
problem.
is very racist.
I
What are
had
you
a
gonna do?
moment at the farmer's market today.
You what? Of course you did. Why is that? How are you even saying that? I had a moment at the farmer. Of course, you had a moment at the farmer's market. That's what this entire show is based on. What are we going to talk about if you don't have a moment at the farmer's market? What are you going to come back on this show and just say, I had the best time at the farmer's market today and there were no incidents?
You know what's funny is it was like I was trying to control my anger. And because
What
here's the
could have
thing.
happened if we're talking about Russia invading Ukraine? And they're like, I had to control it's just the same thing that happened to me at the farmer's market today. I had to control myself. Look at DJ Eric Bridge, Karen Marina. Right? Yes, please tell us. I will keep my mouth shut.
So I go to the farmer's market and I get to the vegetable stand and the produce, which is my favorite one. This is my favorite produce stand. And I'm going to get my celery because, I do celery juicing. And I know we're talking about Putin, and here I go. Could you see him? He'd be like, destroy her. But I went to go to the celery, and for the first time I asked how much the celery was. And mind you, there was a woman before me, and he took such lovely care of her, and she was taking her time. And I had asked how much the celery was. The guy, I guess he didn't know. He said, wait for this guy. And I said, okay. So I waited patiently. Right. And then he comes, he's done with that woman. And then he tells me the celery is $4 for a bunch of celery. That's a lot. Everybody out there, celery right now, even with inflation, it is like $2.30, and that's a lot. And his was like $4. Now it is organic. So I was like, that is a lot. I don't remember. And I was like, I don't remember it being, I think he said $5 actually. $5 for a bunch of celery. Yes, right. That's right. And it wasn't my normal guys in the stand because I know those guys. Those guys know that I fight and they know I get into it. So they know like they're very careful with me. But this guy was new today, never seen him before, was like, you don't know who I am, do you? That's what I was thinking to myself. I was like, you don't know who the fuck you're dealing with right here? I know, I'm crazy. But as I'm asking him this question, he looks like he's like annoyed, right? So then then this couple comes up and they go, how much is I just want celery too. How much is the celery? I go, it's $5. And they walk away. Now, you can argue that he probably hates me now because I'm telling them that it's $5. But it is $5. You can't just sell celery without telling people that it's $5. Okay? And so now I'm putting the celery in my bag. I get 2 of them. And another woman comes up next to me. And I guess he decides he's kind of done with me. So he starts to take care of her. And I'm not even finished. I still needed kale. So I said, can I get the kale? I go, how much is the kale? He goes, it's $4. I go, So I get the kale. I have the celery. So now she's like really fast. She just wants garlic and parsley or whatever. So now he takes care of her so lovingly. And I mean, like, he takes care of her like she's like the sweetest queen of England and everything. And I'm standing there and I'm waiting. Remember, I waited while he dealt with the other person, but now I have to like be treated like, okay, you're too difficult. I'm going to deal with someone else.
Before he got your kale?
He half got my kale. He kind of stuffed it in my bag, almost dropped it, and just left to deal with her.
That would have pissed me off too.
And I was fuming, and I let it. I was like, don't. So then I hand my credit card over, and he goes, oh, hold on for a second. I go, well, I was kind of first.
And what did he say?
He goes, oh, I go, no, I just noticed everything. That's all. I just noticed. This really came out of my mouth. I know. I don't know. Just noticed everything. And the woman standing there, she's got her mask on. She's like, her eyes are like, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, but no, you weren't done with me. So then she goes, she pays. And then I go, just so you know, I go, you should finish with the person that you're dealing with before you move on to someone else. That's all I'm saying. I notice everything. It's okay. I know what this is about. I
You said that?
Mm-hmm. And then he goes, oh, okay. He goes, have a great day, ma'am. They always do that shit. They always try to dismiss you with have a great day. I'm not having a great day.
Like, when I come back here next week, this shit better be fixed. He's like, oh God, she's coming back next week. First of all, Marina, why are you buying expensive celery when you just juice it up? Then maybe you just need to buy a standard celery.
No, you got to get good organic celery.
Do you?
Have to. Yes, you do.
Putting it in a blender?
Yes, because there are harmful chemicals that they put when they take care of the little bugs and stuff like that. Those are harmful things. Now he's going to
give you. Oh, right. Stace just said that's the word we were looking for. You
What?
have a great day, ma'am. That's the
Yeah.
word we were looking for.
You have a Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
I
Please,
used to do
Kenny,
that
she
as a
knows.
joke, and I completely forgot it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found all the microaggressions at the farmer's market. I see what's happening sometimes. It's funny because I try to let things go and I try to be like, okay, that's Marina, you're overreacting. But I'm like, no, I saw him take his time with that woman. And then when it was my turn, he didn't want to take his time with me. And I was not being that difficult. Four to $5 for celery is a good question. You must answer.
I agree. Tamara, I love them too. And I was just thinking, no, Marcy, I didn't read the celery book. I just sold it on eBay. I
What?
realized, sorry, I realized that
Did you really?
yes, I did. I realized that I have to go to the market again with you. I'm very excited about it. I was just thinking about it the other day.
Oh, I would have loved to flip that oh, you
Ah,
have no idea.
I got to go back there and I'm going to have to take some video so we can show it on the show.
Oh, there's no
We got to do
farmer's market
something.
in the Ukraine,
You know what we gotta
unfortunately.
do? We just gotta take a picture of what the farmer's market looks like so we can show it to
Oh,
everybody
I
here.
have a picture. I got a picture of the fish guy today.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we need to show it on the screen, not just on your phone. We need to have
Okay, so you talk and I'll try to pull it up. I'll put it in
yeah.
my
Oh, yeah,
Dropbox.
that's what I was gonna say is, like, we definitely need him, Marina, don't take him selling the book personally, but yes, it's true, Marcy. Of course, I love her. I knew that book wasn't gonna be for me, and I knew I was gonna read so and I just, and I I wanted somebody who wanted the book to have it, and they bought it. I couldn't believe it.
They bought the book?
Yeah, it was one of the first things I sold when I started doing eBaying. I was just trying to clear out stuff in my house. I'm sorry. I know it was a
No,
birthday gift.
it's
Kind of
okay.
a rude thing.
I don't blame you.
I
But
still ate the circus
you
peanuts, but
should have read it.
just it's just like I wasn't gonna. I don't know. I I have to.
You're embarrassed now?
No, I just don't think I'm gonna ever do celery juice.
Telling Juskow to talk?
I have the forum.
Oh my god.
It is the worst thing you could do.
Okay, here's the guy. Here we go.
Oh, good, you got it up. Oh yeah, that's a troublemaker.
That is him. Look at that guy. Look at
Yeah.
him.
Oh, you can
Ugh.
zoom. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Oh, look at what a dick he looks like.
Look at that guy.
That's the guy that looks like he's the villain in every black movie that's ever been made.
That
I'll tell you, that Martin Luther King had some radical ideas.
and by the way, just so you know, the mushroom lady who is not there is the thing behind. You see the guy with the orange vest?
Yeah.
That's where the mushroom lady was. She's
Yeah,
no
you got to
longer
take
there.
more pictures so we can show them to, because that's what I've been doing on my podcast is I've been having more bonus material for Patreon subscribers and, kind of as a little companion piece to the podcast, you can actually see the photos. It is
Ugh.
exciting. When we talk about the farmer's market all the time, it's exciting when people can see the actual people involved. It's unfortunate he's wearing that hat, and he is just a dick, and that's okay because that's the way he is. He's a dick to everybody. That's not just a
He let
Marina
me take the picture though.
Oh,
I asked.
Well, why is he turned?
That's how he took it.
That's weird.
He's like, "Are you good?" I got video of him saying, I can't pull that up, so I'll just let you hear him say what he said.
Great, yeah, thank you.
See? You good?
I heard him say the N-word.
No, he didn't say that.
No? Oh.
But I'm sure he has.
I really wanted him to.
Well, oh my God. Thank you. Thank you, King Walter. I'm talking about my fights at the farmer's market right now. Thank you.
I thought he was going to say, I literally was your biggest fan until these fights at the farmer's market.
Yeah, this guy, he shouts, he screams, he takes himself.
But he does it to everybody. It's totally not personal. That's why a guy like that is okay, right? I mean, he sucks, but it's not like you. It's not personal. He's mean to everyone.
He's like the soup Nazi in the Seinfeld thing. It's
yes,
like you gotta get your fish. He's very serious about. You see that truck, the van is right where the cone is. That's the van where he
Yeah.
keeps his
Ooh,
frozen
I want to get
fish.
fish. I want to get fish from there.
So, but
Although now I'm afraid to deal with him. If you have a nice piece of tuna, that would be delicious.
I
Oh,
don't eat fish,
you
so I
don't?
don't know. Mm-mm.
What is that? A pescatarian?
Yes, a pescatarian is one who eats fish but doesn't eat like red meat.
Why? What's wrong with fish?
Because this is why you should have read the celery book.
For real? There was stuff about fish in the celery book. I thought it was only about juicing.
No, it's not just about juicing.
I'm
This
sorry.
is why you should have read the celery book. Now
I'll
I got to
buy it
answer
back.
now I got to answer these questions about what's wrong about fish. You should have just read the damn book, man.
I know I messed up.
Who bought? Someone said he bought the book. The fish guy? That would be
The
hilarious.
fish guy bought it. That's hilarious.
Yeah. It's like the thing is fish is in certain waters is contaminated. Certain water. We talk about that water. By the way, to bring it back full circle to the podcast, full circle. Water. There's a history with water, and the contamination of it. What's happening in Flint, Michigan.
Right.
Water can be used to kill people. It can be used as a weapon in war. I hate to bring it down, but that's true.
No,
So when you think about those
plot of
things,
the first Batman.
remembering they had a tsunami in China, and a lot of the fish were. And remember, they also had and that China when they had that tsunami, there was a nuclear plant that was leaking.
Yes.
So you really got to pay attention to what's going on with water, and you can't just kind of assume that every fish you eat is okay. You got to know.
I know, but what you're saying is, it's
what's going on.
It's like one of those things where you just kind of have to go with it because everything's probably contaminated.
I'll tell you what, getting breast cancer, I know this sounds crazy, was probably a hidden blessing in disguise because it taught me to pay attention.
Well, that's not
sometimes
crazy.
I think that just like the virus, people never realize that they could die. It's not real to us until you actually are threatened by it. And when you do get that, you have that awakening and you start to realize all these things you're putting in your body actually really does matter.
You see what Marcy said?
Hello, did it again, did it again.
Look what Marcy wrote. Contaminated water is part of systemic racism.
Yes, it is. She's absolutely right. Okay, Marcy. Now
that's
I'm
for real. I thought it was a comedy gag.
No, that's real. That's real.
Well, I remember in the 90s, there was a community that says that there was a fruit punch that they said was sterilizing
Japan?
Black people.
Oh, was I wrong? Sometimes I get stuff wrong. Fukushima.
Did you hear what I said?
Fukushima. What? Wait,
there
go
was
ahead.
A fruit punch that was made to sterilize Black people. They were selling in a bodega in Brooklyn. That's what they said.
Really?
Back in the 90s. Yeah, I remember it. I've always never drank fruit punch after that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'll never forget it. It was very odd. It was an odd thing to say, and then I feel like it turned out to be true.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's why I remember it was I don't know whether it was like a Korean deli that was selling it, and that's why remember it's right out of the Spike Lee movie, the Do the Right Thing or something. It was around that time, I guess, late 80s, early 90s.
Well, it might as well be. Listen, all the sugar that is in that fruit punch is killing these kids. It's just future diabetes. Like my sister's like, there goes Marina again. But look, sugar is you're seeing it now.
Oh, it's true. That's documented that it's bad. Yeah. I'm
dangerous.
Bad with it.
I love sugar.
I try to have one soda a week. On Saturday nights, I have a soda. But I really don't anymore. And now I drink a lot more water. I have a little flavor enhancer, so I don't drink soda because I want to drink it every day. Sugar.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, there's a couple things that where whoever's in charge of telling you what's good and bad for us seems to change all the time through the years, right? So, for instance, like they say coffee's good for you sometimes, and they say coffee's bad for you, and they go back and forth. Like they've always been one thing that's been throughout that they've said is always actually good for you, at least, not to over moderation, is wine. That's like never been.
No, they said it's bad lately.
But then they go back and they'll say it's good. They usually say that's been good because it has antitoxins, antioxidants, right? Or
Yeah, but people over drink wine and they use it. They
well,
go,
that's the
"Oh, I'm
problem.
just
That's what I'm
yeah."
saying. If you have one glass a day, they say that's pretty good for you.
I
But
take a pill that has what is in wine.
oh, is that
The
right?
best parts of it. Yes, it's called I'll pull it up the next time on the next Saturday that we do this, but it's really takes the best part. That's why you don't need to drink wine. There's no excuses. They can extract that and it is a neutral natural vitamin or supplement.
Oh, look, Donnell has the tropical fantasy. I think that's what it was called. Thanks. Right? Yeah, I was right about that. I remember
Oh,
that. When was that? Was like in the 90s, I think, right? Yeah, tropical fantasy.
that's
And they said it was
crazy.
just what Marcy was saying, the systemic racism
Yeah.
in the water or whatever. We're saying it's really messed up. It's one of those things where I think you're right and I believe it's true, and yet I don't want to believe that there's somebody inventing shit like that.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's
Yes,
terrifying.
yes, thank you, Venus. It's called resveratrol. Thank you. That is what I take. I take it twice a day.
Boy, these guys are good. They
And
know everything.
it has everything you need from wine that you need. So you don't have to drink it to get that
Oh, that's true. Wine does have a lot of sugar.
sugar and some of the tannins
I
or
don't drink
whatever.
that much wine.
I think I said
A
that wrong.
box a day. I had wine with dinner. My friend Vincent took me out on Wednesday. We went to this really nice place in the West Village, and he's a sommelier, so he bought this $500 bottle of wine.
Mm,
That was, once in a
that's
while.
ridiculous.
I'm not a wine connoisseur, but I do enjoy it with, a steak or something. It's kind of lovely.
I used to drink wine all the time and it used to make my face like hot and I used to swell up.
I get a splitting headache from it.
And I sometimes asthma. I would get asthma.
Really? That's
Mhm.
interesting. Well, it sounds like you're allergic to wine. What
I
the
didn't think so the
conditions
way I
you
was
have.
drinking it.
For
I
me,
was
it's the
drinking it every
sugar
day.
and getting the headaches, but it sounds like everything you're saying where you're getting red and then you would have asthma, that sounds like you're allergic to wine.
Yes.
Yeah, you used to drink wine, right?
I used to love it.
When did you stop doing it?
You heard it here, folks. Marina takes pills instead of drinking. They're herbal supplements. Excuse you.
I don't know. I think if I had, your kind of cancer, I think I would drink more wine just because I'm like, fuck
No.
this.
No, the thing is like the resveratrol is what my doctor prescribed for me because of the cancer,
Yeah,
actually.
I know. But I just want to be high.
And it makes your skin look good.
Really? Well, you
Mhm.
definitely look good.
That's the resveratrol. It
You
keeps
look
you
good.
young. It keeps you. It's the leaf. It's the skin of the grape.
Mm.
So anyway, we gotta get out of here. I know it's such a fun time we're having, folks.
It is. I have to make my tacos.
Is that what you're making tonight?
Oh, Vincent's my friend Donnell. Get this, right? This guy, Vincent, I've known him for 30 years. He used to be an actor, and he just told me, he just told me on Wednesday that, and he always has like this nugget of information. First of all, he drove Charles Manson to Berkeley back in the 60s before he was Charles Manson. He's
Mm.
like, hey, Vincent, will you drive me to if you're going that way, will you drive me? And he drove him there. And he said the guy was driving me crazy, just kept repeating everything that my friend was saying. He goes, boy, it looks like it's going to be a great day. Looks like it's going to be a great day. And Vince kept going back. Will you shut up back there? I'll kick you right out. And he goes, no, don't. And then they had breakfast together. This guy Vincent and Charles Manson. It's so weird. He goes, and then he goes, hey, come into my I got there's 16 girls came out to the car. Hey, Charlie's back. He goes, come on in, they'll make you whatever you want. And I go, did you go in? There's 16 girls that come in. He goes, nah, we knew something was off with this guy. It was easy to figure out, I guess, but
That's so
he's
funny
got the
that you brought that
stories,
up.
this guy. The fucking
He
stories you
may
wouldn't
have been
believe.
autistic. You know what's interesting
Yeah,
is
I
I'm
believe
glad
that.
that brings us full circle and that allows us to go out. That last night, the young lady who was emceeing the show very young, 22 years old. Her name is Abby, was doing jokes about Charles Manson. And I've just thought to myself, that's so peculiar. Young Indian comedian talking about Charles Manson. I found
Really?
that so fascinating. I was like, why?
Yeah, why? Where
Um,
would you even get that?
I don't know. I think maybe she said she wrote him a letter before he died or something like
What,
that.
you
And
said she was 22? Oh, maybe when she was a kid? That's
no,
weird.
she wrote him a letter before he died. So when did he die? When did he pass away?
Oh, maybe about 7 years ago?
Yeah, that's what she said.
I guess that makes sense.
I
Why
don't know
would
if
you
she was
do
just
that?
I don't know if she was writing it for a joke. Anyway, I don't want to analyze her set,
Well,
but
the
I
funny
will
thing
say it was fine.
with this guy Vince, I was just like, "Wait, you went to breakfast with Charles Manson?" He goes, "Yeah." He's like, "He didn't have any money, and so then I told him I'd pay for him, and he was my best friend after that." And I'm like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" I was going crazy. Oh, that's amazing! That's amazing! What did he have? He had eggs, you know. I was just
Did he
like,
get egg whites or
no, I think he just got regular eggs. But the funny thing is, yeah, right. What's his name? He was just like that. I'm telling you, he was a gorgeous guy in the '70s. He also he was supposed to be in the Warriors, the movie The Warriors. But the other anyway, I have so many stories about this guy that he keeps telling me for some reason, out of the blue after knowing each other for so long. I'll tell you
That's
more stories next time.
crazy.
They're
Yeah.
classic. They're awesome.
Wow, that is crazy. That you know crazy people,
He slept with one of
Jessica.
the Bond girls, and he slept with
What?
Lauren Bacall.
What?
He always tells me,
When?
"Don't tell anybody." I'm like, "What are you kidding?"
Look, I'm so
No
awful.
shit.
I was like, when did he sleep with her?
In the '70s. I
Wow.
mean, she was a little older, I guess.
Okay, so I think this is a go. Manson loves the tutti frutti pancakes.
Right? Wouldn't that be funny?
All right, guys. You know, we love you. We want you to stay safe. Juskow, is there anywhere they're going to be able to see you?
Well, I think I'll be at Bananas, which is the most hilarious name of all comedy clubs in Rutherford, New Jersey, Friday and Saturday with Rachel Feinstein, my Jewish friend. And of course, Tuesday night, as Marcy knows, always at the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show at 6 p.m. on YouTube and the Comedy Cellar Nightly channel. And my podcast, Juskow in the City. It's
Yes.
always awesome.
And you know, you can always check me out, Marina Franklin. The reason I do this, go to my podcast. It's in the link tree that's scrolling beneath. And you could also go to that link tree and see where I'm performing, or you could go to my website, marinafranklin.com. At the end of March, March
that's never
30th, I
updated.
will be doing an hour at the Fat Black Pussycat. And if Juskow is around, he'll be
Well,
there too,
why wouldn't I be around? Where am I going?
just in case.
I'll be
You know
there.
how you like going to concerts.
Oh, what time does it start? Is it at
It's
6?
at 7.
Oh, great.
So 7
I'm all
o'clock.
in. What day of the week is it?
It's a Wednesday.
Awesome. Wednesday's perfect for me.
Oh, sorry, that was probably really loud for everyone. Anyway, thank you so much. Wear your
Thanks,
mask
everybody.
still inside. If you feel like it, don't get peer pressure to take it off. Keep it on. You don't want to get the flu. It's still flu season. Wash your hands. And Black Lives Matter.
Great. That ought to hold the little bastards for a while.